Okay, got it.
And I'm going to turn hosting over to you, Phyllis,
All right.
or to you, Scott, maybe. But Scott, you're co-host, so I'll make Phyllis a host. Bye, guys. Have a good one.
Bye again. Thank you.
Bye, Ken. Thanks, you, Ken. Good morning, District 115. Welcome to another momentous, wonderful, fabulous edition of Wake Up with Toastmasters. And welcome back, Phyllis Tribby. You've been globetrotting, from what I understand.
Yes,
So,
I've been all over South Africa.
wow,
I had a terrific time. Really,
very nice.
I can't say enough about it.
Very nice. Joining us, Division A Director, Larry Johnson. How are you, Larry? Good morning.
Good morning.
You are here to promote something that is, I think, a super fabulous idea. That is happening a week from this Saturday, I believe, and that you are spearheading. Now, correct me if I'm wrong on this, but I believe you're spearheading this as part of your high performance leadership project. I believe. Is that accurate, or am I talking out of turn?
That's partially correct. It is my DTM project.
Okay. I'm talking from the old legacy. Yes, I apologize. I keep forgetting I joined when we still had paper manuals, for goodness sakes. So I am seriously dating myself, but that's okay. Anyway, everybody can see Larry's background about this holiday tea party. So Larry, the floor is yours, my friend. What in the heck is going on a week from Saturday in Division A?
Well, in Division A, we will be spilling the tea at the holiday tea party. You know, when you go to parties, you often do a little bit of gossiping, but we will be doing gossiping in a good way. We have two amazing keynote speakers, Kathy Kalesha, who is the NSA Las Vegas president, and she is a Toastmaster, specifically the treasurer for Pro Toastmasters. We both belong to the same club. She is also the founder of Apology Free Leadership. I have heard Kathy speak. She has spoken before, obviously at Pro Toastmasters meetings, and she is a fabulous speaker. She is engaging, and I know that she will inspire all the leaders of Division A and District 115, because we have invited everyone to our fabulous holiday tea party. Our next speaker is our District Director, Gene Williams. As
Bringing out the big guns, I see. All right.
Yes, I am. Why not?
Very cool.
Gene and we have gone back for a few years. She was my coach for Library 2.0 and beyond Toastmasters. And of course, Gene always have amazing stories, and Gene can be inspiring. So I know Gene will do a fabulous job at the holiday tea party, spilling the tea.
There you go. So I happen, I know Kathy from my days on the seminar circuit pre-COVID, actually. We worked together in the same seminar company. And I have a funny story to share about her and I a little bit later. But Larry, I'm curious how this came about, what made you decide to do this and that kind of stuff. Those stories are really kind of cool.
I just wanted to do something special during the holiday season for the members of Division A as well as District 115. And I was planning this with the other area directors in Division A, which are, Delisa, Kathy, Cynthia, and then there was Stephen Siegel, who recently
Right.
was the fabulous area A4 director. And the idea came up about having a team. And then we all said, wouldn't it be nice to have a holiday team? And it just took off. And as I mentioned, it is a gift for Division A and District 115.
Okay.
So individuals that attend, they will be sipping tea and eating dainty food.
Hey,
Hearing inspiring speeches.
what's the old saying? If you feed them, they will come. I
Yeah.
think, yes. So
Absolutely.
nice job. Nice job.
Yeah.
So this is over at the Spring Valley Library, if I am correct.
Yes, it is a hybrid event.
Okay.
It is at the Spring Valley Library, and it can be seen online if you can see.
Uh-huh.
Big, long, URL. Yeah, there you go.
There we go.
And I will also repost it on the District 115 website. I have posted it earlier this week, but I will post it again.
Okay, very cool. So you're doing this as part of your DTM. And what's the experience been like spearheading a project like this? Because this is, I think some people have a misconception about the DTM project, that it needs to be this grandiose type of thing. It fits very well into what Larry is doing. So what's the experience been like putting this together? Any challenges you had? What did you learn about it, about spearheading an event like this, going through the process, Larry?
Well, one of the challenges that I have had was just letting different tasks go and let other people do those tasks. In other words, delegate.
Mm-hmm.
Occasionally, I do have a problem with delegating, which I've learned how to do a lot better as the division director, and also as a recent department head at my job. And I realized that delegation is magic, because when you delegate and let other people use their creativity, they can do amazing things. So I have received a lot of help from the area directors. So for example, Kathy and Delisa are trying to get donations for us. This flyer was not made by me. It was made by Cynthia. And my job is just to do the decorations and make the program. So I get to have fun. I get to do the fun part. Every part is fun. And of course,
But that's the way to delegate. Delegate what you're not strong at or don't want to do, and keep what you do want to do. So, absolutely.
Part of the DTM program is that you learn how to delegate
Yes.
and be sure that all of your people fulfill their jobs on time. If you learn that, you got the program.
Indeed. Indeed. So, Larry, when did the planning for this begin? I'm curious.
that's a good question. Probably in September. And we have met multiple times. So we actually have a committee.
Mm-hmm.
A very long name, because it also includes the contest too.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so we are trying to do multiple things in this special committee for Division A.
Okay. So this wasn't something that you just sat down on a weekend a month ago and hashed out. This has been going on. The planning's been going on for a few months. I think it's important to recognize that, because the DTM project, it is, as Phyllis was mentioning, is about delegation and having a team and making sure they are doing what they have agreed to do and on time. But it does take you as the captain, if you will, to get the process moving and recruit a team. And you mentioned your area directors played a big role in this. Anybody else that, obviously besides the speakers that you have booked, which are both phenomenal, anybody else give you assistance, or was it really the area directors that got this thing going with you?
Well, I do have another committee, and this committee is the advising committee.
Mhm.
And I am so lucky that the members of Library 2.0 and beyond, Toastmasters, specifically the officers, I think actually all the members, decided to advise me on this project, which is great because the library is known to conduct very successful programs or events. And I know from my librarian experience, as well as my experience with Toastmasters, you always plan an event months in advance. A last minute event may be successful, but it can be very stressful doing it if it's done in the last minute.
Right. We at the district level, that's a great example to piggyback off that comment. The spring conference is something that actually Ken Richardson, program quality director, has been working on behind the scenes for quite a while now. And we're getting ready to finalize it and book a venue and all of those wonderful things. But that also is not something that is done on a whim or over a weekend or anything like that. It takes time. It takes back and forth. So you learned about that process. Did anything about planning this in terms of how it happened and what you needed to do? Did any part of that process, I think it's important for people to know this, did any part of that process surprise you that, oh my goodness, I didn't know that this would be required, or I didn't know that this might occur? Did anything surprising happen during the planning phase that you weren't expecting?
I think one of the biggest planning or biggest surprises, and I hate to be on a sad moment.
No, it's okay.
When our area director, Steven Siegel, passed away, that was really, really surprising to us. And sometimes it's very hard to continue a project when you are close to a person, and when something happens that was not expected.
Yeah. Sure.
What we are planning to have a segment dedicated to Stephen at the holiday tea party.
Very nice.
Very valuable member of the Visionary.
Absolutely. Phyllis, you have been through a project like what Larry is going through. Any questions you want to ask him, that you're thinking of from your experience going through this?
Any type of leadership project actually fits into this category. So when you have to work with 5 or 6 other people or inspire them to help you commit to a project or finish something, then it fits in this category. And some people want to think that, like you say, it doesn't have to be grandiose. If it involves other people and you are spearheading it, you are the leader, you're asking for help, you get that help, then that makes this project part of the DTM project. And there's also still the high performance project, which is in among the electives.
Hmm.
So that both work. I was expecting the DTM project to be something so totally different, I wouldn't be able to handle it. And then I asked for it, and it was still the high performance leadership. It's helping you learn to delegate and be sure that all of your members are completed on time. So how did you decide that it was going to be a tea party? That's I'm kind of interested in the tea party. Are all of you tea drinkers? What happened here? How did it come across?
Yeah.
Why isn't it coffee and tea?
Great question.
Well, we may have a surprise for the coffee drinkers. I have to be honest, I am a big coffee drinker. As a matter of fact, I haven't had my coffee yet, so I'm surprised that I'm speaking right now.
Well, I just came back from South Africa, and that is it. If you ask for tea, it's hot tea. And, you always have to specialized coffee. That is not really in their selection. It is tea, hot tea, many different flavors, but hot tea. And I have also done high tea at one of their leading hotels. So I'm anxious to see what little goodies you have for us to have as snacks, along with our hot tea. So what plans do you have? Are your members, your committee, going to do baking?
Well, we are planning to have baked goods, as well as dainty little savory bites.
We will help our cup with our little finger up. Yes, and we'll do that.
There will be teacups. They may not be fancy teacups, but there will be teacups.
I don't have to drink my tea out of paper cups. That's interesting.
Otherwise known as styrofoam, probably, right? Yeah.
It's a little bit fancier than that. I want to have a little bit of mystery behind it.
Yeah. You can't spill all the beans. We get that. Yeah.
That's why I cannot spill all the tea.
Which, by the way, is the mark of a good strategist, a good event planner, that you don't make everything public, which is to your credit, Larry. So the tea party, holiday tea party. All right. Just a real quick story about Kathy. Pre-COVID, actually, this goes back probably 4 or 5 years ago now. She and I worked for the same seminar company when live seminars were still all the rage. And she reached out to me one day and invited me to have coffee with her, not tea, coffee. And I said, sure, and she said, there's something I want to run past you. And I'm like, okay. And she said, you seem to be doing really well with the seminars. Are there any tips you can pass along about the sales component? Now, the reason I'm bringing this up is because in the seminar industry, and this is not a dirty little secret, but it's just the way that the industry is set up. If you are a seminar presenter for one of these companies, it's not just the knowledge that they're looking for that you have. They are looking for people who are, number one, not afraid to, and number two, capable of marketing other products, services during the seminar. And she was having some trouble with that. And I said, well, I can give you what I've learned. And I pointed her to some resources and so forth. And it really seems as like she's come into her own in a big way, especially with NSA. Did you know you knew Kathy prior, I guess, because she said she's a member of Pro Toastmasters. Was that an easy invite to make because you already knew her? Were you looking to go invite someone from NSA and it just happened to be Kathy, or does she just happen to be part of the NSA and you invited her? I'm just curious.
Thank you for that question.
This is
Well,
table topics, dude.
Yeah. I decided to ask Kathy because I know she was a really good speaker.
Yeah.
And I must admit, because she's the president of the NSA Las Vegas, which did help out, I want to get someone who was recognized as a fabulous professional speaker.
Yeah.
In the Las Vegas area. I know Kathy was that person.
Mhm.
And then of course I know her. It's sometimes a little bit easier to ask people that you know.
Sure.
And the same thing with Jean Williams. I had no issue asking Jean Williams because I know Jean Williams before she was a district director.
Right.
You know the old saying, it's really who you know, right?
Oh, it is. Especially with something like this. It does tend to be about who you know. There's no doubt about it. So this is a week from this Saturday, December 10th, 1 p.m. until 3 p.m. And got two fabulous speakers lined up, and tea and food to be named later. But there will be food. So folks, hey, great stuff. Larry, great job on this. I will be there. And I hope not only Division A, but other divisions send some representatives to this event. I think it's a fabulous idea. Kudos to you on putting it together. And look forward to seeing the fruits of your labor over the last few months come to fruition. And then you can, head home after it's done and take a deep breath and I did it. That's kind of the feeling you're going to have. I suspect. Right. And anything else going on in Division A that you want to let us know about?
Well, I wish I had this information up. I know that some of the clubs will also have their own holiday events, and I don't have that information right now.
No, that's fine. That's all right. Okay.
And I think that's it. We are just trying our best to be the best division as we can be.
And you are doing well at that. And I want you to know that the efforts of not only you in Division A, but all the division directors are not going unnoticed. And I think it's important that you know that. So kudos to you, sir. Phyllis, anything else you want to run past Larry in the few moments we have left?
I know it's tough to talk about it, but you do need a replacement area director. Have you been able to find someone, or would you like to make a plea for that? Tell us what clubs that director would handle.
Yes, I would like to make a plea. We do need a replacement area director for Area A4. As of now, this director will only have two clubs, which is Cheers and Blue Flame. I have my glasses on if I can't see. Blue Flame Masters.
Well, Blue Flame Masters has always been a productive club. They're not really active in the division and district, as I recall. They don't usually send contestants, and I always feel sorry that people don't take advantage of contest time, because it's such a great opportunity to get to know other Toastmasters. But there is someone out there. Of course, it'll be someone maybe that already has a distinguished Toastmaster behind their name, but someone they would like to have help in Division A. Only two clubs. That's 2 nights out of the month that I like for you to visit the club. So please
Mhm.
contact Larry. If you don't know Larry's email address, contact Scott. Or if you happen to know me personally, I can forward any emails. But we are in need of replacement area directors. Now, you will not get the point for being an area director because you must be that for the full year. But it certainly is, you're going to get a good slap on the back and a big thank you volunteering at this time to help those clubs. So please think about it. I understand we are in need not only of one in Division A, but we also need 3 others. That was from the newsletter that I read. So please think about it. Give some of your time back to Toastmasters.
And then may I add, it is also good experience, even if you do not have area director experience, you can consider to be a test to see if it's something that you really want to do.
You know, Larry, that's a really great point. It could be a test drive for maybe taking that position on July 1st of next year. That is a really great point, dude. So cool. Well, Larry, y'all are doing great stuff in Division A. Look forward to seeing you on the 10th and having some great tea and food to be named later, as I keep saying, and hearing 2 great speakers. And kudos to you for putting this together. And congratulations in advance. It's been a process, as all of these projects are. And one last question I have for you before we let you go. What is the biggest thing you have learned about yourself going through this process with the DTM project?
Well, one of the biggest things that I learned about myself is that others can do tasks better than me. You can be the leader of a project like this or of an organization, and one just has to utilize the talents of those individuals that they're leading. And that's a lesson that I have learned from this project, as well as from other recent experience. There are a lot of talented people out there who can create wonderful products. That's the best word I can think of, such as the one that's the back of me. And as a leader, that's just to support them. And that's what I've done. I support each of the area directors so they can be successful.
Right. There was a CEO one time, I remember hearing the interview, and the CEO made a point of saying that they look for people, this person looks for people who know more in areas than they do. And they hire them and they say, you know more about this than I do. That's why I hired you. So go ahead and go to work. And that's what you're talking about. And I think it's a really great point. So great job, Larry. Look forward to it on the 10th. Thanks for coming on the show today. Phyllis, do you have anything you want to mention before we sign off on another great edition of Wake Up with Toastmasters?
Well, I think that Larry has led the way as a challenge to our other divisions to have parties. Once a month, we need a division party. So who will be next?
That is a very good point. Who will be next? We could have one a month. Yeah, sure.
That's what I think. Sounds good to me.
And to me as well. So Larry, thanks for coming on and congratulations in advance. Great job in Division A. And we look forward to the rest of your year and the rest of all of the division directors' years. Believe it or not, we're coming up on mid-year already. it doesn't seem possible, but we're almost at mid-year. And so great stuff coming in early 2023, I am sure, not only from you, but from your colleagues in the other divisions. So thanks for coming on. And Phyllis, do you have any final announcements you want to make?
Well, as I say, this Saturday is the early bird TLI. So if you are repeating a office that you've already served in, you can get your credit for attending a TLI by going to the Saturday meeting, and it's at 9 o'clock. So I think it's well worth people that have been in the job before to go and have like a panel discussion and see what you could change about the way you do that particular job, or share all of your thoughts about the job. So it's a great opportunity for the people that are in the roles now to share with the people that have been in the roles and are going to do them again. So, yep, that's it.
Very good. Thank
Sorry,
you.
we couldn't make any comments today. I don't have a second screen to type on like Ken does, but still make comments in Facebook, and they will be read by Ken or Scott later on today. So please comment.
Larry, once again, thanks for coming on, buddy. Congratulations. Well done. We'll see you on the 10th, and keep doing great work in Division A, my friend. All right.
Goodbye, Larry. Goodbye, everyone.
Have a great day, all. Take care.